Hello guys, now I'm going to be reacting to MatPat's new video. By the way, just to tell you, this is going to be a two-part video because for some reason my tablet does not let me make videos for like 11. My tablet does not let me make 11-minute long videos for some reason. So this video is going to be two parts. This video is going to be two parts, just to tell you guys. Okay, sorry, I sound like a broken record. Okay, let's react to this.
Okay, I give up. These guys don't have some sort of secret language like the Endermen. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're just idiots. Hello, Internet, and welcome to A Diet Theory. And unlike all the other theories that I've claimed are diet theories, this time I really mean it. I am not joking around. These mini theories were originally meant to be a smaller episode exploring new fun angles on recent topics that didn't fit into the main theory, and yet every time I try to write one of these things, every time they always wind up too long. Not this time, my friends. I swear, today we are not going to go past page 2 or like the 10-minute mark, even though the outline for this episode is currently at 4 pages. Curse my verbosity! Today I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into a topic I began covering in our last Minecraft video. In that episode, we concluded that the Illagers were exiled from the villager civilizations because they were experimenting with the powers of life and death. And we know that to...
Oh, by the way, I haven't actually seen that video, so maybe I should watch that video before this one, but I'm already reacting to it.
To some extent, they've been successful, considering that evokers carry totems of undying, items that literally grant new life at the point of death. Now, they live on the outskirts of society in the Woodland Mansions, where it appears that they're continuing their experiments, converting villagers into ravagers, and using huge stockpiles of blue, light blue, and cyan wool to construct replicas of Steve. At the end of my last theory, I hypothesized that perhaps those Steve clones may have inadvertently led to the creation of the game's zombie menace. But that still left us with a lot of questions unanswered. What's the deal with the fake end portal rooms that you can also find in the Woodland Mansions? And why are there these giant replicas of cats and chickens hidden inside those buildings? I mean, those are some...
Because there can be.
Weird details that I made a big to-do about in the last episode that I didn't actually have the chance to explain away. And then there's the issues with the Vindicators themselves. Why are their eyes blue? We established last time that they're former villagers, and we know that every other villager in the game has themselves green eyes, including other Illager types like the Evoker. So then why are the Vindicators' eyes specifically blue? Again, something that probably has itself a lore-based explanation out there somewhere. And lastly, a question that I think we were all thinking at the end of the last episode: if the Illagers are indeed trying to create Steve clones, is it possible that they accidentally created Herobrine in the process? Who I know is an established creepypasta and isn't an official thing in the game, but still, could he have been? Is it possible that he's an official part of this game's lore? Today we're cracking open the first of this little 3-pack of diet theories: the fake end portal rooms, why they exist, and their connection to a fascinating and incredibly tragic real-life story that may tell us a lot more than we expect about the history of these Minecraft villains. So pull out your netherwort, water, and sugar,
Okay, so far, honestly, I've always really wanted Herobrine to be like a canon part of the story. That would be absolutely awesome. Oh, fudge, sorry. That would be freaking awesome. Okay, let me continue this dang video, and, I don't have to hear my extremely irritating, frustrating voice that... Never mind, let me jump past the video.
Going swift. As I brought up in the last episode, there are lots of strange rooms hidden throughout the Woodland Mansion hideouts, but none of them are as suspicious as the fake end portal rooms, in which the Illagers have used green and orange wool.
If I really think about it, that kind of looks like a character. Just look at it. Just look at it. The chest, the lava looks like what do they call it? The waist, fudge. How am I that stupid? And these parts, but you can't really see me pointing at them, but they, Okay, it doesn't matter. Let me just unpause the thing video.
To roughly recreate the layout of an actual end portal. I mean, that's pretty darn weird. Like, there's lots of weird details in games that may or may not have themselves a greater lore importance, but in this case, to take an end game location and place it in the hands of the villains in a way that they're trying to recreate it, it's definitely the devs trying to tell us something. Especially when you consider that they were included in the game so much later than the end portals themselves. Like, maybe if the Woodland Mansion came first, then this would be them trying to hint at this mysterious stronghold's existence hidden somewhere out there in the world and how to use it. But end portals have practically been in the game since the very beginning, since version 1.0.0, whereas Woodland Mansions were added to the game 5 years later. You don't put stuff like that in arbitrarily. It feels like a detail that, if we're somehow able to crack it, will actually tell us a lot about the story of this game. And I think I'm beginning to wrap my head around what it all means. Now, let's think through this logically. The fact that the Illagers
Go, Matt.
are trying to build a portal for themselves tells us a few important details. One, Illagers have somehow managed to see a stronghold at some point, already an impressive feat. And two, not only did they see a stronghold, they somehow were able to understand that it was important enough to want to try and recreate it for themselves. Now, something that I didn't get to talk too much about last time was the whole wool thing. I've already mentioned them using green and orange wool for their fake end portals, and that would be interesting on its own, but that's not the only instance of unusual wool usage inside the mansions. For one, none of the beds in the mansion are real beds, despite real beds having existed for years before the implementation of Woodland Mansions. Instead of crafted beds, Illagers attempt to recreate what a bed looks like by using white wool and various colors of carpet. Talk about itchy and like zero back support. It's no wonder the Illagers are always so cranky. Illagers also have themselves map rooms, which, once again, don't use crafted maps, but use carpet on a table to create the illusion of a map. All of this reeks of a real-world practice called cargo culting. You see, cargo cults are an absolutely fascinating phenomenon that actually happened in the aftermath of World War II. Imagine this. You live on a tiny, remote island in the middle of the ocean with just your fellow tribesmen, completely secluded from the rest of the world. And then all of a sudden, giant metal birds appear out of the sky, making loud roaring noises. The birds come to a stop on your island, and out of them step humans. People that look like you, but different. Different skin tones, different hair colors. And they come bringing things that you never could have imagined. Pills that save lives, clothes in bright colors and new materials, food in metal containers, objects that can take down the fiercest warriors with just the push of a button, machines that travel fast and never get tired. Sometimes they bring all these things in their flying birds. Sometimes these things just fall onto the island. While they're there, these visitors take time to build things. They clear long strips of land where their birds come and go. They put up these tall towers where they can be closer to the...
Can you imagine how terrifying that would be? Just absolutely terrifying, because they're not very familiar with modern technology. So I can't imagine just how terrified they would be. I mean, if I was one of those people, I definitely would have been terrified of that. Because, like I said, they're not very familiar with modern technology. Well, I don't think they're familiar with early technology at all, but I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I can imagine how terrified they would be.
Heavens, and where they talk to themselves all day while wearing these strange ear coverings. They erect tents and shelters where they live. And then after a year or two of these visitors coming and going, suddenly the birds stop landing. Everything that came with them goes away. They were like gods, and you, not fully understanding what brought them there in the first place, try everything to get them to come back. This is exactly what happened to the small populations of indigenous people on the Melanesian islands of the South Pacific during World War II. Islands like Vanuatu, Fiji, New Guinea, and the Solomon Islands. Here they were, societies completely removed from the rest of the world, existing in their own self-contained bubbles, when all of a sudden, Japanese troops land...
Okay, guys, now I'm gonna end this video. I might make a third part at the second part. Okay, so if this video is too long, I might have to make a third video, but I'm not exactly sure. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Love, comment, subscribe. I love you guys, and bye.